G'day traders, John from Crypto Candlestick Trading. Just doing an update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets, and I'll just go to the. We'll start off on the weekly chart just quickly, and having a look at the weekly chart, we've got a big sell-off that's just happened there. But what's important about this sell-off here is that I'll just get a horizontal line there. We can kind of see support, not kind of, it's definitely there. Support, 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 support again, breakthrough. Now we've come up and we've broken through that support, but we've failed. So this is very big in the candlestick arena, because what a lot of professional traders, like I'm talking about big money professionals, what they do is they will actually sell as soon as this breaks this, it's a polarity basically. So we've got one side and the other side. So this line here is basically where the main amount of money is transacted, whereas we've got support and resistance. So here we've come up through that resistance area, and now we've broken below that resistance area. So this here would be the first entry here with our stops above the high there. So that's what it looks like on the weekly chart. But I'm not really, that's not the sort of entry I'm after on a weekly chart. But anyway, some people would trade that. Let's have a look at the daily chart. And here we are on the daily, come across. So one thing I was looking for as I was coming up, I just wanted to see these highs here, what sort of support they would offer. And I'll just keep on, missed my line there. So across there. So yeah, I can kind of see that resistance, support, resistance, and breakthrough. And then, like once we break through that, line of support and resistance, like have a look at the result that happened here. So will we get the same result here that we had on the weekly chart? Will we get a significant decline? And it would not surprise me really if we get a significant decline, but I almost think that there's not enough hype that's been released, and it wouldn't surprise me if we got like a 50 bounce on the daily, or or something like that for a takeoff, like just another attempt at this high here or something. But we can definitely see that we've got divergence in play at the moment, and there's a lot of selling volume that's come into the market as well. So, but this isn't the big money that I'm looking at selling. I think that there's some smart money that's actually taken some money, but when we're actually talking about the massive institutions, like I'm talking about, if we reverse this is a massive push. But this is, and this actually wasn't the big money. This was actually the hype that actually took this up. But I'm actually looking at the reverse of this to come down, say the 200 or the previous support here. And that's just the beginning, really. I still think that the lows are not in yet with Bitcoin. I'm probably, I could be wrong with that, but my belief is that these lows here highly likely will still be broken, and we'll find, because big money haven't got their low prices yet, and they haven't been able to buy up big. So and there's a lot of big money still holding a lot of crypto, so a lot of Bitcoin. So when they actually do decide to tank it, if they do, then I do believe that we will see lower lows, and I'll pretty much be waiting for that if it happens. If not, if we come down and find get a good base structure or something happening, I'll be buying out of that base. But as we see here, we've got an uptrending line here, and we're broken below, and it's looking quite negative here. We've even got increasing volume on the engulfing, closing below 2 moving averages now. And then we can kind of see here that we've got dojis at the top here with massive volume. And so that massive volume there, that's not selling. Sorry, that's not buying, that's selling. So we've got like wicks at the bottom and wicks at the top. That there is everyone taking out their profits. And so here we've got another perfect looking doji there. And so it was up around here when I was, it was even higher than this. It was around about 30,000, somewhere around there, when I was saying that, yep, the top's here, so be ready in order to sell. And so that's with Bitcoin now on the daily chart. So let's just have a look at the 4-hour chart just quickly. And here we can see on the 4-hour chart, we've look at that perfect looking shooting star up there. A lot of indecision, a lot of wicks up here, engulfing, the same again. And we've come down, massive selling that's happened here, a little bit of buying that came in here, a little bit of buying that's coming in here too. But there's a huge amount of selling that's happened here, and we can see by the candlesticks and the volume, and just what they're saying. It's quite you can kind of see these pops in volume here, which is selling. And so that's it on the 4-hour chart. We've just kind of bounced at the 200 line there, but I'm not really all that excited about it, to be honest. And you couldn't really. Let's just go from the bodies and see what that looks like. Here it's only okay on the 4-hour chart. We might get some sort of a bounce or something, and it might even reach up to this line again, but. I am still thinking that Bitcoin is not finished, it's decline. So let's just wait and see what happens. Instead of, doing our predictions and whatever, just what these charts say. Like, have a look at the, here's just one thing that I can see quite clearly is, we've got divergence right there. And, we can see the other side of the divergence down here. So what have we got here? The 4-hour chart, divergence and divergence. So, is this enough of a pullback in order to turn around and come back up? As I said, we might find a little bit of support here, but we'll just wait and see. Right, let's have a look at a few of the dailies on the other cryptos. Just going from the top of my watch list here. Look at that. Oh, you know, I love this sort of shorting sort of area here, but I wasn't actually watching for shorts here, to be honest, on this one. Look at that. So we're bouncing on the 200 there. Well, I wouldn't really say bouncing, but we've found some, you know, there's quite a bit of selling that's happened here, and we've come down straight down to the 200. So Link, look at that. So Link, you know, I was looking at Link the other day and thinking, gee, you know, like this would not surprise me if, you know, retail traders, you know, get stuck into Link and think, man, you know, like, because I was watching the top 20, the top market cap, you know, probably the top, say, 50 in there. And I was having a look at Link, thinking, gee, you know, like Link's taken off quite well, and you know, like it's got a nice engulfing. Well, actually, it's not very nice engulfing. I mean, it sold off 20% there, so it's kind of a mediocre engulfing. And then this is the sort of result we get from a mediocre engulfing. Like this is all hype. This, you know, we can see these wicks up the top here. This isn't big money buying. This is big money selling. You know, this here's selling. You know, above these lines here. So here we can see there was indecision. This is an indecision candle here as well. You know, it's not a major indecision, but you know, we can see that there's loose traders at the top and the bottom. You know, they didn't want to hold on to their positions. They got in and got out. You know, they could be retail traders, day traders, you know, shorter term time traders. So let's just have a look. We'll go through and just, and this is the sort of result we get from mediocre breakouts. And so, you know, I was just watching Link and thinking to myself, gee, you know, this is kind of taking off. You know, it's gone from like $7.15 to, you know, $8.50 or whatever. It was even higher than that, $8.80. So I was thinking, you know, this could actually be a run. But anyway, you know, just looking at Bitcoin the way it was, I couldn't really buy into anything the way Bitcoin was. Looking here, look at that, beautiful engulfing. That's nice. I like that a lot. You know, and the reason why I like it is because we're below all the trend lines. You know, so all the you know, trend line, yes, and all the major moving averages engulfing, closing below. I love it, and that to me is a very good looking chart. Pop in volume too, and even the previous buying volume was mediocre. Here, bouncing on the 50, look at that shooting star. Massive selling here, massive selling here. This kind of looks like Bitcoin on the daily chart. I remember this when I was saying that there was massive selling there. And so when we get massive selling like this halfway up a run, we can expect that there's going to be stumbling, you know, as this rally increases. This is the problem here with retail investors, where big money go, okay, well, so let's just have a look here. So big, you know, retail traders have gotten in here and they're bought and it's gone up, and so we've established a new low here. So let's just draw that new low out right there. So we've established a new low here, and we've, you know, things are looking pretty good. So we're buying, and then all of a sudden we've got a pullback. We think, okay, it might be the 50, might be the 200. Oh no, it might be this area here. But it wasn't just that area there where they established a new low. Big money came here and sold everything off, and you know, and everyone here had their stops off. So big money came down here just to collect everyone else's stop losses. The reason why they do that is because they don't want weak hands or retail traders selling, you know, like up here when they're trying to get out the gate, or selling just here when they're trying to, you know, like get something going. If we have a huge amount of stop losses here, you know, that aren't taken out, that means that they can, you know, they're still holding their crypto here and here and here. So they got the choice to sell all their crypto on the way up. Now this makes it quite weak, you know, a weak hold for big institutions. So what they do, they'll come down here and take out everyone's stop losses. So they've now got cheap ANT, and they can also run without, you know, all these people down here, because there's a massive stop losses down here, huge amount. So what they do is they go, you know, like it runs up here, and you know, they're taking out all the stop losses. So now they've got a free reign, you know, just to run. But I don't think they got rid of all the stop losses, because they, you know, got up to here on this previous high here, and then it massively sold off like that, and then came up here, and then we're getting engulfing, you know, above and all that sort of stuff. But as soon as we've got a shooting star here on increasing volume, like that's big volume there, and then we've got massive, you know, shooting star, perfect looking shooting star candle there, which it couldn't breach the top there. So one other entry that I'm looking at as well, and I've just kind of been toying around with, and I just want to show you what it is. And, you know, so I've noticed that with these kind of candles here, you know, like, and I could have done this, you know, on this one here and got stopped out. But, you know, if I had done that, I always like to take my entries twice, you know, if they're good entries anyway. So, but, you know, I like to get it at extremes. So if I was to be, you know, going short on something like this, you know, like a shooting star, because we usually find shooting stars, they have around about a 95% chance of reversal. And on top of that, when you actually get into a shooting star, and, you know, it has a very good chance of not being breached the high. So that being the case, doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen, you know, here and there. So one thing I've been doing lately is having my stops, you know, a decent amount away, but, you know, we can get some pretty pretty good, returns from there. Let's say we would, just want to go to the 50 or something. So, I'd just be doing something like this and like here. So this is the sort of thing that I'm talking about. So I've put my entry 3/4 of the way, or say 3/4 of the way from the low to the high. So I put my entry in there with my stops above the high, thinking that this candle here may not get traded above. So we've gone up there and then pull back, and then we're up to here, and then we go across, and we can see that we're well within range of being activated, and we've got our stops a fair way away. So that's one thing that I've been actually looking at, and it's been going quite well. And then we have a look here with Ant as well. We've got the biggest volume down here. This is a problem as well. We've got the biggest volume here, and this is gap. Like, have a look at these gaps here. Like, this is currency. But currency at the start of the day, it's jumped. That's how excited traders were to get in, or like amateur traders were to get in. But anyway, we can see up here, it's gone up and sold off. So we'll go through and have a look at a few more, and then I'll call it quits. So here we're engulfing down, but we've got a few people buying back on this one here. That's on the and Stellar Lumens. Look at that, back straight down to the 200, but under the 50. Big selling that's happened here. A little bit of buying that came back in, but the selling continues. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I want to see some massive declines, and the only reason why I want to see that is because big money are going to drive it there, and I want to be buying where big money's buying. So this one here, I'll be watching this one here for. This sort of thing I like a lot, but I would much rather the moving averages be above as well. So that's quite all right. So let's have a look at Sol. Sol's had a bit of a disaster. Like here, everyone was, chasing Sol, thinking, oh yeah, this is great, it's going up. But have a look at the wicks here. Like that's selling at the top of those wicks there. That's selling. So we can kind of see the stalling action that it came here. We've got previous resistance over and over again, resistance again here, and now it's kind of seemed to have faded off. And I've got a beautiful looking trend line going down there as well, touching these tops, broken above it mediocrely, and then on actually that's not bad volume, but the only problem is the selling volume at the top there. And then we've come down here, and let's just wait and see what happens. But to me, it's just it's not looking very positive. Like is there too much positive about that? It still looks to me like we're in a very much of a downtrending sort of a market, even though we've had a nice push here. This to me looks false. Like that decline there and that rise there, it just doesn't look like. I think it's going to be smoothed out. It'll just turn into a nothing kind of a thing shortly. Ethereum coming down to the 50 moving average, and EGLD. Yep, the same kind of thing again. Like what's positive about this market? Like I'm not seeing anything really exciting to say, hey, we're in a massive bull market now. Quick, everyone get in. I'm still selling. Seeing massive selling, and there's not just selling. They're selling all over the place on this one here. And have a look at the divergence, going up to this one here. Doji, perfect. Waterfall straight after it too. It's good. That's on Dash. Let's have a look at Litecoin. So Litecoin here, this was one thing I was looking at too with Litecoin. I could see weakness up here around about the 100 mark, and I was thinking, like I was even contemplating doing a short there, and I thought, no, just wait, just leave it. So I'm actually in a short on Bitcoin, and like that's around about it. But over here, I just didn't have any sort of plans on getting into anything at this stage here. I'm just kind of biding my time with crypto at the moment. This here, so Dot's one of the favorites, and have a look at it. This is not the way a successful positive bull market begins. This does not look like bull market material to me. Monero is one of the leaders of the show. You often find that Monero and Litecoin and Dash, they usually take off, like they try to jump the gate sometimes before Bitcoin does, and that's even on the decline. So if you see Bitcoin and Monero, like some of the old cryptos moving, just keep an eye on them, because you'll see that they move before Bitcoin sometimes. So that's interesting. So anyway, here not really a downtrending line because it kind of broke up above it, but massive engulf into the south side. Down now we're closed below the 200 on this one here. That's with Monero. So, but like these cryptos can do anything, traders. Look at this. Left, right, and now we're going. Left head. Are we doing a right shoulder? Is that what this is? Like this, that's what it could be, and it could just tank from here. Who knows? Anyway, traders, that's I'll leave it at that. We're already almost 15 minutes in, so but we can see that there's some really. Here we go. I'll just keep on going. Right, I'm going to leave it there, but we can see along here, like there's a little bit of green that's coming to the market now, but like 4%, 7%, 7%. Like there's some serious declines that's happened here. So, all right, traders. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. I hope you have a good weekend. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm more than happy to talk about charts and give you a hand if you need to know anything about charts. Okay, talk to you soon. See ya.